Hello everyone. Today we are covering one of the most important foundations of human biology, nutrition and performance, namely amino acids. These are often called the building blocks of protein, but they are much more than that. They help build muscle, repair tissues, produce hormones, create neurotransmitters, support immunity, generate energy, maintain healthy organs, skin, hair, joints, the list goes on. Um, If you think about proteins as the bricks used to build a house, amino acids are the raw materials used to make the bricks. At the end of this, you'll understand what they are, what their major categories, the key functions of each group, and what essential versus non-essential means. So, the basic structure of an amino acid is a carboxyl group attached to a hydrogen atom, and then it has a side chain called a R group. The R group is the thing that determines what the amino acid is. Um, some amino acids are hydrophobic and some are hydrophilic, some are lipophilic and some are lipophobic. Um, all that means is some of them like water, some of them hate it, some of them like fat, some of them hate it. Overall, there are 20 standard amino acids used to build human proteins, but not all of them are essential. So when amino acids link together, they form proteins and they form peptides. And then these things convert into enzymes, convert into hormones, which obviously control your body structures. So category one, our nonpolar or our hydrophobic ones. Um, these amino acids dislike water and they are commonly found inside, like physically inside the protein structure, helping to maintain it. Glycine, that's the smallest amino acid we have. It is heavily used in collagen production, connective tissue, skin tendons, and joint cartilage. It is also an inhibitory neurotransmitter in the nervous system. Then alanine, that plays a role in energy metabolism, especially the glucose-alanine cycle between the muscle and the liver. Then our valine, leucine, and isoleucine, they are our BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. They are very, very involved in muscle metabolism, building, and breakdown. Of those three, leucine is the most important for stimulating muscle protein synthesis through the mTOR pathway. Isoleucine helps regulate glucose uptake, and valine supports muscle energy during exercise. Then we get methionine. Methionine is the only sulfur-containing amino acid, and it's essential to create SAMe or SAMe, which is a methyl donor involved in detoxification, mood regulation, and DNA structure. Then we get proline, which is another collagen amino acid and contributes to connective tissue strength. And then phenylalanine, which converts into tyrosine, can then turn into dopamine, adrenaline, and other thyroid-related compounds. Then we have our category 2. These are our polar or our uncharged amino acids. These interact well with water and are common in cell signaling and enzymatic reactions. They are serine, which is important in enzyme reactions, phospholipid synthesis, and cell membrane production. Then threonine is important for collagen, tooth enamel, and mucin production in the gut lining. Asparagine, not asparagus, it assists with protein synthesis and nitrogen transport. Glutamine is fuel for your intestinal cells, your immune cells. It's heavily taxed during illness or recovery states, so it is very, very important clinically, especially during periods of severe stress where demand can exceed the supply. Tyrosine, like we said, is the precursor to dopamine, noradrenaline, adrenaline, and thyroid hormones. All of those together are linked to focus, alertness, and stress resilience. And then cysteine contains sulfur and is required for making glutathione, which is one of your major antioxidants, and then it also supports keratin health, so hair, skin, and nails. Okay, our third category are the acidic or negatively charged amino acids. They are important for metabolism and neurotransmission. They carry a negative charge normally in physiological conditions. Aspartate contributes to the urea cycle and nucleotide synthesis, and glutamate is the primary excitatory neurotransmitter in the brain, and it's a precursor to GABA, which is the, let's call it the calming neurotransmitter. Then category 4, positively charged. They often bind to negatively charged molecules like DNA. Leucine, important for growth, tissue repair, carnitine synthesis, and collagen cross-linking. Then arginine is used to make nitric oxide. Nitric oxide essentially lets your blood vessels dilate and improve circulation. It's very common in sports supplements. It's also important for wound healing and immunity. Then histidine is a precursor to histamine and contributes to hemoglobin function and acid buffering systems. So, of these, we get essential, non-essential, and conditional. Essential amino acids must come from diet because the body cannot make them. Those are histidine, leucine, isoleucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine. Our non-essential amino acids are alanine, asparagine, aspartate, glutamate, and serine. Even though they're called non-essential, that doesn't mean they're not useful. Your body can make these under normal conditions, but a lot of them are also easier obtained from diet. And then conditionally essential is very important. Under certain conditions, only needed if in a deficient state or in a high state use. So that's during periods of fast growth, illness, trauma, or intense stress. That's arginine, cysteine, glutamine, glycine, proline, and tyrosine. So in short, for muscle growth and recovery, you get leucine, isoleucine, valine, and glutamine, the most important. For mood and neurotransmission, tryptophan, glutamate, and tyrosine. For skin, joints, and connective tissue, glycine, proline, cysteine, and lysine. And for blood flow and performance, arginine and citrulline. Citrulline is not technically an amino acid, but it converts into arginine. Oftentimes, direct arginine supplementation isn't that useful because it is very short-lived and very quickly cleared by the body, whereas citrulline provides the precursor, so it leads to more long-lasting effects. So, how does it work in practicality? For most people who meet an adequate total protein amount for their body weight from good quality varied sources, like different types of meat essentially, most of them don't need to supplement. They usually obtain sufficient amino acids. But some people can benefit from targeted supplementation, such as elderly, athletes, people in high stress states, people with extreme diets, or again, recovery states. That is basically everything you need to know about amino acids. Obviously, for each one, you can go a lot more in depth, but just for the general understanding of nutrition and physiology, this is pretty much all you need. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.